Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Daily Canon Tactics Board. Stephen Bradley here, bringing you the tactical tweaks and quirks that came from Arsenal's lackluster, disappointing 2-1 defeat at Goodison Park last night. Well, yesterday, as you'd probably be seeing this the following morning. The United performance was, I suppose, a little unlucky, but at least they scored 2 goals. They were trying to be proactive. They didn't really, it was the part of the first half where they stopped playing and United got back to 1-1. This game was worse. This game was a complete inability to keep control of a football game. It is as simple as that, where key players making key mistakes at the wrong time cost Arsenal crucially here, and they were not helped by their manager. They were not helped by Mikel Arteta at all in this game, and he can talk all he wants about needing his players to do more, and in case of his senior players, he's right, but he certainly didn't give his team much of a chance either. He certainly did not set them up in a way, especially in the second half, to maintain any sort of control in this game at all. And over the next 10 to 15 minutes, I will show you, unfortunately, exactly how. If this is a video that you end up liking, please, we need all the support we can get. Please leave a like at the bottom. If these are videos that you want to see in your inbox on a regular basis, hit subscribe. Hit the little bell. You'll get a notification. And if you see something in this game that I missed, feel free to comment down below. A lot of people are commenting down below at the end of videos, pointing out stuff that I've missed, commenting on whether we should do something else. Although in this game, you'll be right if you suggest that Arsenal should have done something at all, because this was dreck. I don't like talking negative about Arsenal. Like, I'll say that out loud now. Okay? Like, I don't like putting this team down. I don't like being the bringer of bad news. I don't like complaining for complaining's sake. I don't want to be one of those rant channel that goes, Arteta out! He has to do it! Like, I don't want to be like that. But when you see performances like tonight, and you see people going on Twitter and going on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or insert social media that you use here, and they say that this game is an example of why Mikel Arteta needs to be replaced as Arsenal manager, I can only agree with them. I really can. I can only agree with them, because it's not just this game. It's the planning towards this game that shows the lack of game management that Mikel Arteta still has, despite now being in this job for 2 years. That as much as he wants his players to learn on the job, he's not. And this game's a perfect example of why, because this game was exactly how you don't manage a squad. By doing the following. Number one, Kieran Tierney comes back from injury, right? He's been fit for a couple of weeks. He played for Scotland. No bother. Nuno Tavares has been in form. Mikel Arteta doesn't want to, sap the confidence of a young kid who's just broken into the first time by saying, look, you're good, but we've spent 25 million on Kieran Tierney. He's still the first choice left back. He's going to get back in. We'll give you a chance. But Tierney was picked tonight, and Tavares didn't have the best of games at Old Trafford, but at the same time he wasn't as bad as he was at Anfield. And it was a case of when Arteta says, well, I want to freshen the squad, he's right. But if you're going to pick Tierney for his first game back, right, and you expect Tierney to do the same job that you've expected him to do since he got to the club, which is to bomb up and down like this all game long, okay, you need to pick someone who can cover this space. You have to pick someone that can cover all this space and has the athleticism and the ability and the stamina to be able to do all of Tierney's defending, because you're there. And then you've got to get into midfield as well when they're trying to put moves together as well. That's a hell of a lot of running, to the point where it might be only the last few months where people are saying for Liverpool, when Trent Alexander-Arnold is bombing up the right, everyone's now figuring out, oh God, Jordan Henderson's really good at this, and covering behind him, because that's what he does for Liverpool. He almost plays right back, so that Alexander-Arnold can play left, can play, almost as a playmaker and get crosses in for three of the 6 or 7 best forwards in the world right now. And of all the midfielders Arsenal have, all of them, to pick Tierney to go forward like this, and then to pick the one midfielder who can't cover all this ground, and to pick that player in Granit Xhaka after he's come back from a knee injury and has been off for 3 months, and he's back earlier than anticipated, and this is his first game back since. That's inept. That is absolutely inept. And as the game wore on, it got more and more pronounced just how much Xhaka was struggling with the pace of the game. He got booked for, when Gordon was in 1-on-1. It was a good foul, but he was caught out of position. And he took the foul, he took the yellow card, and for this, for the second goal, he wasn't able to make a key foul in the middle of the park to stop Andre Gomez, who had come on at this stage, from getting through. If he hadn't been booked, he would have been able just to take out Andre Gomez, taken a yellow, and it might have been 1-1. But he was on a yellow, and he would have got sent off, so he couldn't make the tackle. So, because of that, these are just minor things, but if you know that Tierney's going to be playing at Everton on the Monday night, why are you playing Xhaka that Monday night too? Why are you... if El Neni is good enough to play at Old Trafford, he's good enough to play at Goodison Park. And if you want someone just to cover that ground, you stick with Sambi Lokonga. Or you play Ainsley Maitland-Niles. You have to play players that complement each other. You can't just stick a lad in because he's got character. He has to bring more than that. God knows Thomas Partey's finding that right now, because he's playing so poorly, his confidence is gone, and as a result, he's not playing those one-touch passes, that controlling it with one touch and sprinting on. He's taking his time, he's being ponderous, and as a result, people are pressing on him, which makes him play worse passes, which means people press on him more, and it's a downward spiral. So, you've got one midfielder who can't do the job you want him to do. You've got the other midfielder who's struggling badly in the job you want him to do. And then you get to the forward line. Odegaard had a good game. I'm not going to criticise him at all. Saka, I'll show exactly what the problem was with Saka in a minute. But Saka was basically left isolated at all times and had no chance really of doing anything apart from one cross in the whole game. And that's just a waste of Saka's talent. Saka was told to basically be here all game. But again, we'll get more to that in a second. It's here that I tear my hair out. Because Smith Rowe is injured. Groin injury. Fine. Aubameyang is out of form. Okay. Fine. So, you play Lacazette and you play Martinelli. Fine. But when in game, you bring Lacazette back and play him at 10 and you play Martinelli up front. What? Yes, you're trying to get Martinelli into the box more often. Well, then play him as a striker and then play Saka here. And if you're going to get Saka, if you want someone here that's going to stay, here. We'll go to our good old friend, the heat map. Saka. That's Nicolas Pepe. That's what you turn him into today. And if you're going to do that, go ahead and play him. If you want someone that's going to go, play wide right and do that all that game, play Pepe. He's better at it than Saka. That's his one good skill of going through like that. As I just realised that I've spelled Godfrey. Godfrey. There we go. Got it right the third time. Even though VAR could have sent him off twice, but yeah. But then you play Saka down the right. But then at least Saka can play here. He's done it before. And Saka can also play centre mid, so that if Tierney goes there, then Saka can come back and then Xhaka can move forward. This isn't rocket science. Mikel Arteta is trying to almost reinvent the wheel here, and there's no need for it. He's got players that fit certain roles. I'd be much happier if playing like this. And then going like that at times. Much happier. It fits. It's a better fit for Arsenal's skill set. It's a better fit for the way Arsenal want to play. Even if you wanted to go Partey there and just told Xhaka to sit all day. It's a much, much better fit. But no, no, no. For some reason, Pepe can't get onto the field at all. And Lacazette was here. Martinelli was here. Saka was isolated on the right. Tierney was out here. Again, if Xhaka was playing left back while Tierney was on the ball, or even here, and we had our old friends, we had these three come back here, Xhaka be there, Partey be there, Odegaard be there, and Saka be there, and we're back to that 3-2-5 that we got absolutely sick of watching last year, with Tierney basically bombing on by himself, then okay, at least, again, they're somewhat fitting into patterns of play that they know and it might work. Especially, that's a better back three than they had last year. But again, I pointed out Saka here. Tomiyasu is out on the right. So he's here. So most of the time, Arsenal are trying to defend like this. And with Tomiyasu here, Saka here, Odegaard here, Lacazette here, and Tierney here, and people are wondering, well, why aren't Arsenal getting any ball in? Well, why do you think? Why do you think? Like, is it any wonder why Arsenal's heat map can end up like this? With no ball in here at the number 10, and very little penetration in the penalty box at all. It's because they're just funneling it out right, giving it to Saka. Saka turns round, gets it here. Godfrey goes there. Allen will come over. Damari Gray will come over. And now Saka is 2-on-1. And he'll give it back to Tomiyasu, who'll give it back to Partey, who'll give it to Odegaard, who will find, again, two blue walls in front of him. Because they'll come back this way. Back to Partey, to White, who'll come up, try to beat a press and get forward himself. Lob a long ball over the top, no one there, and it's kicked out again. That was the first half. The only thing that changed, the only time Arsenal actually tried to go on the front foot with the first half was in the 47th minute. And they scored. And because, for once, Arsenal just kept it simple. Lacazette actually stayed up front. Martinelli was there. Odegaard goes here. Xhaka goes left back. Partey sits in the middle. Saka comes in. And it's Tierney and Coleman, 1-on-1. Tierney gets a little bit lucky. Gets in. The back line goes back. They go into the middle. Odegaard scores basically. Tierney gets in here. Finds Odegaard 18 yards out. Well, 15 yards out. And he shins one in the bottom corner. It's almost the carbon copy of the goal he got at Old Trafford. Getting in between the lines and finding space. And you're like, okay, finally. Arsenal have figured out a way of breaking down this Everton. I won't even call it a system. It's 4-4-2. That when they're trying to quote-unquote press, which they weren't at all, they just sit back in two lines of forwards, your classic Rafa Benitez, with Richarlison and Townsend just running around causing havoc. That was it. It wasn't very pretty. It wasn't very effective either. And Arsenal had found a way of just, with a little bit of luck, getting a little bit of quality in, and it was 1-0, it was half-time. And this is where my patience starts to go with Arteta, because in the second half we had 15 to 20 minutes of exactly the same. No change, nothing at all. And then these two changes happened. First off, Kieran Tierney's brought off after the 65th minute, which is fine. Again, he's trying to recover his match fitness. That will take time. But that's an attacking sub. That is an attacking sub. Like, Tierney is a better defender than Tavares. And if Xhaka didn't have enough ground to cover just because Tavares was doing this, Tavares could do this. Tavares likes to go through the centre. Xhaka is now basically playing left back. And he's getting tired. Because this is his first game in 3.5 months. So now you've given him more work to do. Do you give him any help? No. No. Because 5 minutes later, the second change was made, and Martinelli goes off injured, and he does that. Because apparently what was happening with Martinelli was working. No, me neither. And Nketiah and Lacazette were basically doing exactly the same thing as Martinelli was. Just, get in, just, get in these channels, do something, and get in chance. And look, he got one chance, and he missed from here. But what this doesn't do, when Lacazette is there and Nketiah is here, when they're running around, or at least trying to run around, because they weren't really running around, and Tavares is up the field trying to get the ball, you've got a tired Xhaka there. And this is the difference between game management and what Arteta wants to call getting the players to learn that they need to do more, that they need to work harder. Because Everton won the game directly from the fact that Xhaka was too tired to keep up and concentrate for 90 minutes. And this is like, go watch the highlights of both goals. Because I have it on the other screen here. I can't show it on this screen here because, copyright and etc. etc. But when Tavares gets a throw here and throws it back to Partey, and Partey hits it back to Tavares and it goes back to Partey, and when Gomez gets the ball, Gomez, who has been brought on for Townsend at this stage, Andre Gomes, sorry, not Gomez. Gomez gives the ball to Gray, and Gray gets the ball here. Okay, and Tomiyasu is here. Gomez is going to run around with that. Doucouré is here. And Xhaka is... That's Partey's in here too. Xhaka is here. I'll move everyone back here about 5 yards. There we go. And Tavares is here, and Richarlison is round the back with Gordon. Right? That's all we need. Everyone else is out of the picture. So Demarai Gray is, a left winger who cuts in on his right all the time. It's why he did it Bayer Leverkusen, it's why he did Leicester, blah blah blah. We know he has one really good skill set. It's cutting in on his right foot and hitting it from distance. He's a fantastic ball striker. And Xhaka was given a perfect example of this when Gray took a shot from here. Ramsdale makes a fantastic fingertip save, hits the crossbar, and it's just one of those things where Richarlison reacts quicker because he's a striker, heads the ball into the net, and it's 1-1. It can happen, and frankly, with Richarlison given, he was offside by that much, and that's total twice. It's hard to say that he didn't deserve a goal. But the reason why I bring this up, as I go to 2:35 here, if you want to, the video I'm looking at is the Sky Sports video, the highlights. It's 3 minutes 8 seconds long. I paused it at 2:35 because I need these players here. I need Gordon, who's been substituted at this stage for Iwobi. So Iwobi is wide right. Richarlison is in the centre. Andre Gomes is here. Demarai Gray's got the ball here. And Doucouré is here. We literally do not need anyone else. Okay? Tavares is inside Iwobi. Gabriel is here. Ben White has already gone forward with the ball. Because he's trying to create something. Tomiyasu is here. So Ben White is here. Xhaka is here. They're both in front of Gomes. Richarlison is here, and Thomas Partey has done his job and has filled in basically for Ben White. So you've got this position here. Okay, Demarai Gray is out on the left wing on the 92nd minute. You know what he's going to do. I know what he's going to do. Yet Arsenal do not do a damn thing to stop it. And go watch the video. It's infuriating. And especially watch this man. Because Doucouré does his job. Because Gray is running at Tomiyasu, and Tomiyasu is already, as they're all coming back. Ben White's trying to get back. Xhaka we'll talk about in a second. Doucouré is doing this, right? Just as a decoy. Just so Tomiyasu can't completely shadow Gray out. So that he can just show him down the wing, make sure he doesn't cut in on his right foot. He's going wide. So Tomiyasu has to respect this. He has to. So he stands him up basically. He stands straight in front of him and stops that pass going down there, which is fine. Which means Gray can go in here. Again, Partey is marking Richarlison. Gabriel's covering over as well. Iwobi's trying to get in. Tavares is getting in there. White gets back. Xhaka, at this time, is running in this direction. Why? I don't know. Gomez is basically following Xhaka. By the time Gray gets here, Xhaka is here, and Ben White is here. And then Ben White shows him inside. Richarlison has gone towards Partey. Gabriel is covering the gap. Xhaka is standing directly in front of Gabriel when Gray shoots. And Gray absolutely pings one into the far corner, and it's 2-1. I have no idea what this man is doing. None. And like I said, whilst this is all developing, whilst Gray's coming like this, Xhaka is literally getting further and further away from him. And yet, the only person that should know what Gray is capable of doing is Xhaka, because for the goal, Xhaka was directly in front of him. Yet, in the 92nd minute, Xhaka decides to be 15 yards away from him. And when you've got senior players making decisions like that, and when you've got your manager bringing on two strikers to play left wing instead of a winger that you've got on the bench, and even, in the 90, the last substitution was a striker for a striker at 1-1. When, if you're trying to defend a point, why aren't you giving this team a bit of, cover? Why aren't you taking off someone like Odegaard or Lacazette and bringing on an Elneny and ended up playing like this? And then basically if you take off Odegaard, say, and bring on an Elneny with 10 minutes to go, and you're like, look, okay, we're not playing well, we'll take a draw. And it's clear that their danger man is Gray. You tell Elneny, stick to him. Like glue. If he moves, you move. If he stays, you stay. And if he's even if he's out here and Tomiyasu has him, just make sure you're there. Just don't give him any room to run in. Like, this is under 12 stuff. This is easy game management. This isn't complicated. Yet throughout the game, Arteta did nothing to try and stifle Everton once Everton found out a way of how to attack Arsenal with any sort of regularity. And he can go to press conferences, he can say he expects more from the players, but he needs to look in the mirror too, because this sort of management, this sort of in-game management has been going on for 2 years now. And at some point you have to start expecting improvement. You have to expect better from the person who we're all being asked to trust the process with. Because this process makes no sense at all. This process is nonsense. This process is buy a lot of players, mix them around until they find a way of playing well themselves and hope for the best. That's all it is. That's all it is. And twice now, in succession, Arsenal have lost games because of it. It unfortunately is as simple as that. If you have enjoyed this episode of the Daily Cannon Tactics Board, feel free to leave a like. If you saw anything that I missed, feel free to comment down below. If it is Arteta in, Arteta out, this hashtag, feel free. Like I said, the only rule with our burgeoning community is just be respectful. That's all. Like, don't say anything you wouldn't say in a pub, basically. And yeah, if you want these videos in your inbox on a regular basis, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell if you want to see them every week. And yeah, Southampton on Saturday, another team that's in a horrible run of form. I can't wait to see how we make them look good as well. As I'm stuttering because I can't believe we were this bad today. I can't believe it. We'll see you next time, viewer. Cheers.